On July 21, 2022, deputies in Turner County, Georgia, tried pulling over a speeding Toyota Corolla on I-75. Behind the wheel was 28-year-old Javant Davis from Ohio. Instead of stopping, Davis floored it while his own children sat inside the car. Davis was driving so recklessly that 5 additional units had to jump in and assist with the pursuit. Even after being hit with multiple pit maneuvers, he kept fighting back, slamming into patrol cars while weaving through traffic at dangerous speeds. And all the while, his children were trapped inside, caught in the middle of his selfish, reckless run.
There's a child in the back seat, so we don't have to do a roadblock here.
Although the police tried to stop the suspect when the car was badly damaged, the suspect did not stop but tried to accelerate and escape, even though there were 2 children in the car. Deputies finally executed a pit on the Corolla and boxed it in. When they attempted to pull Davis out, they had to smash the window to reach him. Inside, Davis was calmly smoking pot, the same thing he'd been doing throughout the entire chase. He was sentenced to 8 years in Georgia, and after that, he'll be extradited to Ohio, where he faces up to 14 more years for armed robbery. On September 5th, 2025, deputies attempted to stop a silver Honda Accord after it blasted through a 30-minute zone at 50. The driver, 22-year-old Nathan Jose Alaman, ignored the stop sign and took off, weaving through traffic and refusing to pull over. Alaman floored it, 70 Mirror on county roads, then over 130 Burma once he merged onto I-40, blowing past cars on the shoulder and ignoring every stop sign in sight. At one point, he hit a curb so hard the Honda went airborne. Yet somehow he landed it and kept going, swinging onto Highway 64 like nothing happened.
He's crashed out.
Crashed out 236.
At 1022. He's going east on 64 now.
876. Partially patched. We're patched up here.
Got a lot of smoke coming from his vehicle. I'm not sure how much further he can go.
The chase ended violently when a trooper slammed into a Lamans Accord, crushing it into an electric pole. With the car totaled, a lawman was taken into custody on charges of felony fleeing, reckless driving, speeding, and driving without a license. Charges that could put him away for nearly a decade. On July 12, 2023, Arkansas troopers spotted two Teslas blasting down I-40. One bailed off an exit, but 24-year-old Williams kept pushing. He wasn't even old enough to rent the car. He'd slipped his cousin $500 for a birthday trip and somehow turned it into a full-speed police chase instead.
One car, almost clean. Looks like 24 is with it.
I'm trying to stop it up here. Be careful.
He pushed well over 100 mph, darting through lanes and blasting past traffic. Even spike strips couldn't slow him down. The Tesla kept rolling like it had endless charge.
Go 40 on the shoulder, east on 40. Whole traffic hit it. Go again, go again.
Hey.
Yeah, wait. CBI, successful good work, get it.
I got it. He's busting that tire.
Troopers finally ended it with a pit near mile marker 2882. Williams clipped a patrol car, bent a wheel, and still tried pushing forward until he was fully boxed in. Inside the Tesla, officers found weed, scales, and his passenger, Taylor. That $500 rental, it's now worth several years in prison. Usually cops are the ones performing pit maneuvers, but this time the tables turned. On July 8, 2025, Trooper Hernandez clocked a Chevy Silverado ripping down I-75 at 98 mph. The driver, 36-year-old Kevin Rearin, was weaving, braking erratically, and refusing to pull over. Trooper Prosper took the lead and moved in for a pit. But Rerin fought back. He slammed on the brakes and rammed Prosper's patrol car twice, crippling it. Even after losing a front tire, Rerin kept pushing 100 Mallard Miefbone, blowing through stop signs like they didn't exist.
For 156, focus 36 control.
Trooper Riley finally shut it down with a pit, forcing the Silverado into the grass. The suspect reeked of alcohol and later tested at nearly twice the legal limit, with liquor bottles, weed, and pills stashed inside the truck. He's now facing DUI, fleeing, assault on law enforcement, and multiple drug charges, potentially stacking up to 15 years or more in prison. On November the 2nd, 2024, Tallahassee police tried stopping a blue Kia for a simple seatbelt violation. Behind the wheel was Malik Miller, who decided that not wearing a seatbelt was somehow worth turning into a felony chase. He hit the gas, and deputies quickly realized he had a lot more than a seatbelt to hide. Miller and his two passengers were pulled out at gunpoint, and a search of the car revealed 75 grams of marijuana. Miller was charged with aggravated fleeing and possession, charges that could put him behind bars for up to 15 years. Imagine posting online threats toward Arkansas law enforcement and the governor, then hopping into a pickup truck and hitting the highway. A terrible idea, and an even rougher way to start your day. John Davis did exactly that. Arkansas State Police units closed in within minutes. Even legendary Trooper Jacob Bird was in the pack, but this time it was Trooper Joseph Killian who slid into the lead and took command of the pursuit.
Medium traffic. Speed 98 coming up the North Interchange. We're going to be staying 40 eastbound.
40 eastbound, 3698.
We're staying with them. Secondary, I got just drive 40. If you get a chance to get past the traffic, hit him.
Do they have me?
We're out, that's 156, 107.
That's 153, 107.
At 103 miles per hour, Killian made his move. He tapped the truck's rear quarter, and both vehicles locked together, whipping off the asphalt and spinning across a grassy field. Brutal yet pure Arkansas precision. Dogs barking, rifles up. Troopers stormed the wreck. They dragged John Davis from the crumpled truck and cuffed him in the weeds. No one was hurt, but both vehicles were totaled, and Davis now faces felony threat and fleeing charges. On April 10, 2025, Trooper Brenson attempted to stop a white Genesis in Zellwood, Florida. The driver, 35-year-old Sidney Paul Hayes, acted like he was pulling into a Circle K, then suddenly took off, thinking his license was suspended. Turns out his license was perfectly valid. The entire chase started over nothing. Hayes pushed the Genesis past 90 MEPs in a 35 zone, clipped 4 mailboxes, blew through stop signs, and even drove into oncoming traffic. His reckless run escalated instantly, turning a pointless panic into a major danger for everyone on the road.
Weather at 1049 in there.
Troopers finally shut him down with a heavy ped, hard enough that the patrol car slid off the road as well. But the Genesis was done, completely disabled in the median. Hayes threw a backpack out the window filled with cocaine, marijuana, pills, and cash before surrendering. He was charged with fleeing, hit and run, trafficking, and several more felonies that could stack up to 30 years in prison. On June 3, 2023, Conway police spotted a stolen 2015 black Mustang GT roaring down I-40. With over 400 horsepower from its 5.0 engine, the car had more than enough muscle, and the driver was using every bit of it. He was driving so recklessly that Arkansas state troopers had to jump in and take over the pursuit.
These days do road, there's a one-way bridge going down the hill. Be careful. Okay, I'm trying to get across the mortgage.
The Mustang ripped past 120 mph, swerving across lanes and slamming on the brakes to shake off troopers, even after being clipped twice by patrol cars. But the driver kept pushing, refusing to give up.
The only roads out there are dead ends, except for where it comes out on 326. These are about 66. We'll see it. Let's negative there, you know. 30s are coming to you. If you can get up to that intersection, you'll be right in front of them. Five's not ahead of me. Let's see up there. I'm going to come out further down. I'm going up here. If I need to turn around, I need to get back the way you're going. 30 to 5 is back behind you. Comment that road. On the street, shut down the whole road. Now just stop. Off in the ditch. We're down in here.
Near Highway 326, troopers closed the trap. A pit sent the Mustang spinning, and another cruiser shoved it into a ditch, crushing the driver's side door. The GT's final ride ended in the dirt. When officers pulled him out, the suspect just shrugged and admitted he knew he was going to jail anyway, with charges for auto theft, felony fleeing, and reckless driving. That joyride could cost him up to 15 years in prison. On December 17, 2023, a trooper in Riviera Beach, Florida, heard the roar of a Dodge Charger with a loud aftermarket exhaust tearing down Blue Heron Boulevard. Moments later, he spotted the car racing another Charger and took off after it, pushing his patrol car to 140 mph just to keep up. Jalen Davis ran wild, blowing through red lights, nearly crashing into cars and flying the wrong way down Jog Road. Even after slamming into another vehicle, he still refused to stop, pushing deeper into Palm Beach Gardens at dangerously high speeds. Troopers ended it with a pit, sending the Charger plowing into bushes and road signs. Davis bailed out, ran through fenced yards, and tried hiding in a backyard, but officers caught him shortly after. He was booked on burglary, fleeing, reckless driving, hit and run, and driving without a license. Charges that could keep him in prison for years. On August 29, 2025, at a sobriety checkpoint in Little River County, troopers stopped a white Chevy Tahoe driven by Kenneth Terrell. He claimed he had no ID, then suddenly hit the gas and the chase was on. What troopers didn't know yet was that Terrell was a wanted sex offender with multiple active warrants.
Before we get torn, we good.
10-4, he slammed his brakes on.
He tore through no passing zones, nearly caused multiple head-on crashes, and swerved aggressively to block every pit attempt troopers made.
Let me get up beside you on the straight stretch and I can kind of box you in.
10-4, you might be able to pull ahead of me. Pull up on him a little quicker than me. When we get up here, if I can't get up beside him, just pass me and get up there.
Corporal Kyle Jones lined up and delivered a hard pit, sending the Tahoe crashing into a ditch and skidding into a pasture. Terrell tried hiding under the SUV, but it was pointless. He was arrested for felony fleeing, reckless driving, and sex offender violations, charges that could put him away for 15 to 20 years.